What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from Brewery Ommegang, and they're out of Cooperstown, New York, and this is their Everything Nice, the 2021 release. So they're calling this one a Belgian Strong Blonde Ale with seasonal spices and natural and artificial flavor. The spices in this one, according to their website, they are cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, clove, and white pepper. It comes in at 9% alcohol by volume, 27 IBUs on the time of review. This bottle is just under 3 months old. So this is a new seasonal release from Ommegang. And, based on the spices, those are basically pumpkin spices. I mean, sometimes all spices throw it in there, but those are pumpkin spices, and then they throw white pepper into it. It's a base Belgian strong blonde ale at 9%. And they call this like a wintry release, but this is bottled. This was bottled on August 31st. And like I said, we're just under 3 months old, or right around 3 months old at the time I'm reviewing this one. So I believe this showed up in like the middle of the fall. So I don't know if they're kind of going for like a pumpkin spice beats like a winter warmer type of thing. I really don't know. But I'm here to check it out. It's been a while since I've reviewed an Ommegang beer. And yeah, we're going to do so. Let me crack this one open and get it into the glass, see what we got going on. So this is the second holiday themed beer I'm reviewing this year, and I thought this would fit the occasion. I typically like what Ommegang does, and yeah, this just seems like it might be a fun one. So hashtag proper glassware. We'll see if it has Dirty Glass Mafia. I did wash this out really good, but it's been like a year and a half since I've used it, so probably going to be some carbonation bubbles sticking to the glass. So yeah, Dirty Glass Mafia all day long. Let's give it a pour here. Label out. And we'll go like that. We'll leave a little bit at the bottom. Don't know how much, sediment. So maybe it's not Dirty Glass Mafia. Wow, that has a great look to it, though. So that has this really crazy, burnt sunshine orange color. It's pretty, murky and turbid. Lot of sediment in there as well. It's a little bit lighter here at the bottom and darker at the top. It has about a 3-finger, I'd say, yep, about 3-finger of a, I want to say like a cream colored head. Very tightly compacted bubbles, some bigger ones mixed in, but mostly tightly compacted bubbles. Does that look like a blonde ale? No, not really. But it's a Belgian blonde ale, and these kind of look similar to this, maybe a little bit lighter in general. But yeah, anyway, let's get a nose on it. It smells like a fucking pumpkin spiced beer. That's what it smells like. Wow. So I should have done this with my 10 Days of Pumpkin. I think this beer was out by then. Yeah, I mean, it smells like a pumpkin spice beer. It's fucking crazy. Now, thing is, when you get your American winter warmers that have, typically have like cinnamon and ginger and things of that nature, I mean, the winter warmers are very similarly spiced to the pumpkin spice beers. Very, very, very similar. But yeah, I mean, this smells like fucking pumpkin pie, honestly. Man, holy shit. I'm getting a big blast of brown sugar. Like they say, natural and artificial flavors. Is that one of those artificial flavors or natural flavors? Is it brown sugar? I don't know. It's huge on the brown sugar. Oh my god! It smells like I'll take it back. It doesn't smell like pumpkin pie. It smells like a pumpkin pastry. There's a lot of brown sugar, like a pumpkin roll, but instead of dusting it in powdered sugar, you just sprinkled caramelized brown sugar on top of it. Holy fuck! There's cinnamon, nutmeg. There's ginger, clove I'm not really picking up on, and the white pepper it's just so much brown sugar sweetness. Underneath, there might be a spicy kind of yeast ester from the Belgian influence in this one. Bready for the most part. Also, I forgot to mention, they say they're using citra hops on the website, which I'm probably not going to get any substantial character from those hops in here, but let me tell you something. I did the 10 Days of Pumpkin this year, and there were some, good pumpkin beers. This smells just as good, if not better, than the best pumpkin beers I had this year. This fucking smells like a pumpkin beer, but it's kind of like a mix of a pumpkin beer and a winter warmer. It's 9%, and it's a Belgian strong blonde ale. I don't know. Yeah, fucking smells delicious. I want to get into it. Cheers, everybody. Happy holidays. So you can, that fucking aftertaste is really cool. So you can tell this is a Belgian beer at its core, or a Belgian style beer, which is what Ommegang does. They brew, a ton of different Belgian styles. It's really nice. This is basically like a pumpkin spiced or like a pumpkin pastry strong Belgian ale. That's what this is. It's pretty cool. Body is 9%. It's like medium, touch over medium, fine. Maybe a little bit thin for 9%. The mouthfeel, while being super crisp on the palate and very effervescent like you would typically expect from a Belgian strong blonde, it has such a nice, smooth kind of, smooth like kind of finish to it. But very, very carbonated on the palate. Like it's almost ripping off like the flavors within like 3 to 5 seconds after I take a sip. Like it just rips the flavors off my palate. But it's also because of the spice. So flavor-wise on this one, right at the front of the palate with a big blast of malt sweetness. It has this bready like brown sugar-esque kind of like malt sweetness to it right at the forefront. And that carries on through the palate. It's omnipresent. It's underlying. It's there though. It never gets lost, but it never dominates the palate. In the nose, the brown sugar was definitely dominating. On the palate, not as much. These spices, despite the fact that this bottle is almost 3 months old, the spices are still super prevalent and like very sharp. In order, I'm getting ginger, cinnamon, clove, and then nutmeg. The ginger and the cinnamon totally leading the way. This almost has like a ginger beer-esque quality to it. That's how heavy the ginger is in this one. And that carries on through the palate. There's this nice, like, generic, spicy, you could say pepper from the white pepper thrown in here or from the yeast in general. It has this nice peppery kind of spice note halfway through the palate. On the back of the palate, this finish is bone dry with a mild to moderate bitterness, but this is really dry. This is one of the more dry beers, probably from all of those spices and more to the cinnamon and ginger side of things, but it's really dry. And I mentioned this before, I'm not a huge fan of dry beers, so it's a bit too dry for me to go crazy with like the score or how much I love this one, but it's a really well-made, tasty, spiced, I mean, basically this is a spiced Belgian strong blonde ale. That's what this is. And I think you're getting the base. I mean, there's a little bit of like an apple or a pear kind of, again, yeast ester type of thing going on. You have that dryness. A lot of the Belgian beers are very dry or can be. You're getting that spicy kind of component. And I think the spices on top of that just accentuating the yeast profile here. It's sweet up front. And like, I said, it's omnipresent, the sweetness there, the brown sugar. But man, does it finish dry to balance it out. Because without that dryness, I think this beer would be pretty fucking sweet. Maybe the spiciness would cut it a little bit. But I believe between the spice profile and the dryness, like it definitely doesn't get at any point where it's cloying. It's not mind-blowing, but man, I think if you told me this was a pumpkin-spiced Belgian beer, I'd be like all day long. If you told me this was a Belgian winter warmer, all day long. It's really good. I'm going to pour the rest in here, and then we're going to go into a rating and price and availability and everything. We'll see if all the goodies that I pour in at the end change this up. Very carbonated, very lively. As you see, that wasn't even a crazy hard pour, and we got like a 4-finger head. So interesting. Anyway, let's go in one more sip, and then we'll finish up. Yeah, so pouring the rest of that in really didn't do much to it. Sometimes they'll bump up the body or maybe get a little bit more spicy, but not much. Rating. On everything nice, the new limited release, 2021, why I say 2021 release from Ommegang. I'm going to go high 4 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.1 out of 5. This is really nice. Like, it's not mind-blowing. If you see this and you pick it up, don't go into it thinking like it's going to be some fucking world-class crazy beer. But for the holiday seasons, whether that's, around Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, I think you could really drink it at any point. I think they did a really good job. It has like the pumpkin spice kind of feel to it, but also has a winter warmer feel. Then underneath you have that nice Belgian strong blonde ale base, and it's really good. So 4.1 out of 5. Kudos to Ommegang for this one. I'm really enjoying it. For me to get higher, it'd definitely be less dry. I do appreciate the dryness to balance out that malt sweetness, but I feel like this is a little bit too dry for me. I think if you took that away, maybe gave me a little bit more bitterness and balance it out that way, this would probably get in the 4.25 range, but 4.1 is still a good score. Price and availability. Price point. Believe I paid like 3. No, it was like 3. Yeah, it was like, I I think it was maybe like $3.99, maybe like $4.25 for a bottle. I think 4-packs of this are around $16 a 4-pack in my area, so not a bad price for something that's 9% and has all those spices and whatnot. And availability, you should see this one wherever you see Ommegang. Ommegang gets pretty good distribution throughout the U.S., so if you see Ommegang, and you should see this one. If you do see this one, pick it up. Especially if you like these type of beers. I think you owe it to yourself to try it at least once. And if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. I think, like I said, it's a well-made beer. 4.1 out of 5 is a really good score. I just would like a little bit less dryness. Oh yeah, 9%. I can feel it like into my chest, a little bit of warming in the stomach, but not in the palate. Like maybe the alcohol is bumping up that dryness too. But I think I'm starting to lose track of why it's so dry, because there's that spicy component along with the alcohol, and just the fact that it could be just dry in general because it's the beer itself. But whatever the case may be, definitely a bit too dry, but I enjoy it. So thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol, another holiday beer review in the book. Be on the lookout for 9 more throughout the course of December and on New Year's Day. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Till the next one. Cheers.